Hello everyone. Today I want to discuss the AI productivity illusion. Basically, AI creates a view of instant results, while in reality it hides hundreds of hours that you spent working on your product, working on your decision, etc. Like debugging, making architecture, thinking, looking through project requirements, etc. So this visibility crisis leads to most people overestimated what it's realistic take to build a good product. For example, for non-technical people, when they see the program done basically in hours with the help of AI agent, they do not really understand the full scope of functionality. If this code really workable, will it have the future issues? Does it the functionality just looks like it works or it really works? For example, if you use some functionality, it may be just working on UI but does not do nothing in the database, etc. and etc. So by being a software engineer, it's become really hard to prove that to build this program, you need to spend hundreds of hours of trial and errors and thinking, selecting package, selecting architecture decision, and basically multiple efforts into trying to figure out how it will reality will work, like have full understanding. When for them, like non-technical person, it will look like, oh wow, you did nothing because I can write the same amount of code, like number of lines, etc., like in very fast, like in minutes. And you spend, for example, hours or days on doing that. So these gaps between perceived effort and actual efforts, it's exactly what driving burnout because people try to become real 10x developers, try to go from just thinking about the solution to trying to deliver it as really as fast as they can. And in reality, it's leads to having the same issue that we have with AI. The code looks good, but it does not really work. Or if it works, it's not does what it's supposed to do from the business perspective. And it's kind of like what we have on the market when most people are excited about some things and think it will create like much more progress. Uh, we can look for the perspective of having some innovation in every field. Time to time we have innovation. It's kind of was like a century ago innovation when we created the machinery. We figure out, oh, we can use the vapor power, we can use gasoline, we can use electricity to make this machine to work for us, and we will become much more effective. We will have more free time. Reality, we did not get more free time, but yes, we get more effective. But how much more? It's another question. And exactly this makes looking from AI perspective that everything is 100% easy. When in reality, it's maybe two times easier, maybe 1.2 easier, like 20%, maybe even less, because in some cases, you will find out that, well, listen, I could do it faster by myself than spending hours talking with AI and trying to debug its proposed idea or just looking through that and thinking, wow, it looks crazy. You don't do that like that. But you cannot explain this for other people because they don't see that. Because for them, if they're not at the cutting edge of their of that field specific, and if they have different type of field, they will not really see the difference. It's kind of like if you're a doctor and you ask a question of AI about some disease, and then we take a random person who never studied medicine and they ask a question about the health, etc., about some medical stuff. And I will produce answer in both cases, but the first person, the doctor, will be able to judge and understand. all right, this is true, this is irrelevant, and this totally like better not to do. But the person who does not really on this cutting edge of medicine, did not spend like multiple years, maybe decades of studying medicine, will not be able to do that. They will think, oh, it looks right, it sounds right, it's supposed to be right. No, not always. So exactly, this faster and faster delivery, skipping this deep thinking, leading to less of more like shallow work and less like deep work when you spend time into really creating ideas, practicing them, and understanding not only how it works, but why it works and why it's supposed to do this. Um, it leads to sacrificing of quality when we have less experience, we have less of what it's supposed to do, but we just need to get it like done faster and faster. And in this kind of field, it's becoming like more luxury to have understanding of consequence if you do it certain ways. Like because becoming a master in any field and going to cutting edge will take you multiple years and multiple trials and errors. It's not like you become a professional by going through the straight path. It's exactly when you make multiple errors, learn on your mistakes, look for other people, how they did, etc. It's when real learning is happening. Because if it's easy, everyone can do it. But, but if it's hard, then there's a reason one you should do learn that because it's not easy. It will take you time, it's take you struggle, but again, if you have this knowledge, it's become a luxury because I just don't write the code. I understand what it code does, why it does, etc. Like for a medical field, or even if we take an example with kitchen, we can compare AI to some microwave when it just heat up food fast, but you need to understand when it's better to use microwave, when you need to use oven, when you need to use stove, etc. But if you don't have any understanding and trying to put a smoothie inside of microwave, mm, will not like that's the best way. But again, it's required to have an understanding of this ideas of consequence, what you should do, what you should not do. And that will lead us to making more important point of communication because we basically need to make our invisible work on our understanding really visible to other people who will be evaluating our work looking through that because if we cannot prove this understanding that there will be no difference because if they don't understand that you understand they also don't understand and it's exactly like helping them to understood first before like being understand before you being understand so you need to help them understood because AI is doing a good job at explain things but what it's this poorly is really having an idea why it's come up to this because in reality I does not think in just statistically pinpoint what is the next best word with the next best like step statistically not really logically so it does not understand the consequence between like one action and another and just thinks if we have 1 2 3 then the next should be 4 it does not really understand like in some cases we use uh, another metric, like for example in agile, when we have 1 2 3 then 5, because we use previous number to add. Again, some lack of understanding why we use this logic. And because of that, like thinking strategically and having the ability of think deep and be able to explain and reason when you need really use AI to speed up and become like better and faster, and when you need to put like this measurement and explain. Listen, it's not AI task. It's simple. Like in reality, we need to learn tell other people that it can be done with AI, and this cannot be done with AI. You may try, best luck with that. But this is the difference exactly in communication, because AI just generate fast. It does not know what it does. And human that have this craftsman's mindset, they put a lot of their thinking, a lot of value inside of. They may understand the client before the client even understood themselves. They may think like a Steve Jobs, like I will propose you this product before you even know that you need this product. But it does come with multiple years of fails and trials and learning and trying to do new things. It does not become really from just following the predictable steps. So my feedback will be to use this time that we have right now with speeding up some tasks with AI to really think about what is valuable and what is making the biggest difference, what is requiring us to think about, because it will be the driven difference between when you will be able to explain that something can be done fast and something should be done slow. Thank you.